Hi, I'm Thembi Terry, a personal blogger, and welcome to this week's episode of Adulting 101, where I'm going to share some insight of how I feel about adulting. And this is brought to you by Caterpillar Cocoons Trust. And spoiler alert, adulting is not the girl they made her out to be. But first things first, I'd just like to say, to thine own self, be true. What I mean by that is do the things that please you within reason, within legal guidelines. But because at the end of the day, you're gonna be awake at 3 a.m. and guess who's going to be there with you? Just you. Do you see what I mean? And the one thing that people don't think about when they're so busy pleasing everybody else is that you are all you've got. And if you are unhappy with you, your body is just going to be a place of constant turmoil. Your body is going to be a constant place of turmoil. So when we say to thy own self be true, we are saying stay true to yourself. What do you love? What do you like to do? What does your body tell you it needs? Do you need to rest? Do you need to drink water? Do you need to go away for a while? Do you need to go offline? Do you need to not text back at lightning speed? Only you know that. And in Upper 6, we had to do a book for literature, and it was Chinua Achebe's Antilles of the Savannah. And one of the things that were in the book that stuck with me is only he who wears the shoe can tell you where it pinches. So we can't know for you if your mental health is okay, if you're okay, if physically you're okay. We don't know how much you can take. I remember going to the gym at Sweat Nation, and I always felt like I was at the brink of death. And she kept saying, no, you can do this, keep pushing, keep going. And I'd always keep pushing and keep going. And that was a pleasant surprise because, you know, she pushed me to push my body to new boundaries. But there are times where you can't push your body anymore and you know it. Like the gymnast from America who went to the Olympics and decided, hey, I can't trust my body. So she knows her body and she knows she can't perform very well. It's like pulling up to an exam and you have an Eversharp 15 and it's what we used to call it jamming, but I don't think that's the correct word for it, but it's blotting. And it's like, so you know your equipment is not going to perform 100%, and your body is your biggest piece of equipment. It's your vehicle, it's your, that stuff for breathing, like your respiratory system. Like, what is it? I watched a lot of House. I should know what this is. You know when you can't breathe and then they put tubes in you? That thing. So yeah, also treat people how you want to be treated. We all come from different houses, different backgrounds. For example, I have a friend who in their house, it was okay to troll and tease each other. They call it, Ugupoqana. They call it ugupoqana, right? So in their house, that was okay. In my house, we didn't do that. So ungangpoqa, I promise you right hand to, I'm telling you, I'm going to cry. Ungangpoqa nyakala. So you don't know where people's backgrounds are and what their upbringing was like. So what you're calling toxic behavior is probably how someone else was brought up. But when we came into this earth, we didn't come with the manual for ourselves, our own bodies. What more for other people's bodies? So how does anyone know how to treat you if you never tell them or if you never show them? Which leads me to my next one. Set your boundaries. Know where you draw the line, and teach people that I can let you come this far, nothing further. A huge thing that I like to tell people nowadays is when you apply for a new job, don't put your WhatsApp number. Don't put your WhatsApp number on the CV so that, no one is WhatsApping you on the weekend, on your off days, on your vacay, on your sick leave days. You just be like, I don't have WhatsApp. And the moment people have to call you or you make it hard to be accessible, the less. Because now someone is sitting there thinking, okay, I don't have enough airtime. Do I really want to call about this thing? And always remember, it's you or them. Every time you struggle with setting a boundary, understand that it's you or them. I've got a backstory to this. I remember standing with my ex in a bank queue, and we'd been there for hours. When ATM stopped working and you all had to queue to get into the bank to get money, and they didn't care about what you'd come to the bank for. Everyone had to queue outside before COVID, but queue all the same. And this lady comes in, like slightly older than my mom, and she says, "Hi, bantwana bam," like my kids. I'm in a rush. Please, can I just go ahead of you in the queue? And in my head, I was like, madam, I have back pain, I have period pain, I have a headache, I haven't eaten, I have low blood sugar. I am literally close to death right now. You waited until quarter to closing time of the bank to show up at the bank, and I've been here for hours. And your entitlement to try and come ahead of me is like, it's not correct. It's not right. You don't know my story. You don't know how long I've been standing here. But adults always feel like because you're young, you have all the time in the world. I have other things to do. I have a mother that's your age that's waiting for me to be done with this and come back to her and serve her. So when you start thinking about that every time you need to choose or every time you need to set a boundary, just remember it's you or them, and you need to choose you. And another thing is, no one is coming to save you. I remember when my phone died. My phone died and I was thinking, I'm not online. Who needs me? Who's thinking about me? Who needs me to do work? All that stuff. I was under so much pressure, and I had anxiety about that, about being offline. And I thought to myself, wait a damn second. Wait. If these people find me so valuable and need me so much, why haven't they bought me a phone? Do you see? So you're out here breaking your back to please people or to be available to people who more often than not want to use you for something or another, and you don't realize it. So when you are taking stock of where am I at, what's draining me, why am I burnt out, you'll realize that you are actually not serving yourself. And you need to take stock of, what am I doing? How is it benefiting me? How is it helping me? Is this what I want to be doing in terms of my visions going into the future? And if it's not aligned to anything that benefits you, I suggest today is the day you put down the tools and you say, hey, I really can't give you the time that you need, and I'm just gonna take a break. Life is a landmine. I'm telling you, lately with this woke culture and everything just feels like a trauma response. I do a lot of these TikToks of put a finger down if, right? And I found myself putting down a finger a lot. So there's things that you could be doing that someone else can be like, that's toxic. And you need to be okay with that. You can't be perfect 100% of the time. And we're different. We are all different. No two people are the same. And the moment we come to realize that, we'll realize that when people are different, there's going to be conflict all the time. But can we cut everybody off? I'd like to try, but I have failed so far. So if you successfully do it, please send me the cheat code on how to do that. But no man is an island and you can't live by yourself. I have tried. I used the lockdown as an opportunity to, practice being a recluse, being an agoraphobic, and I kid you not, could not. You're always gonna need money, you're gonna need opportunities, and you're gonna need to talk. That's a huge one, because right now it's so hard to talk to people, especially like on text, because you don't know tomorrow what that relationship is going to be like. Wake up and your screenshots are all over. So vulnerability is not safe in this digital age, and you can't help how someone is going to react. So opinions vary in life all the time. And the two examples I like to use are religion and sport. So now we're like in the Premier League season or whatever. And every guy thinks their team is the best, right? And they could be, I don't know a lot about soccer. I don't know. But their opinions vary, and, tensions are going to run high. There's going to be trash talking. Sometimes it's exciting, and then sometimes people take it personally, like you've literally dissed their mother. And the internet, it be like that sometimes. And I find myself having to self-censor. It's like in terms of being a blogger, I self-censor a lot, because I'm like, how will people receive my opinion? Because there's always an opposition. Well, in most countries there's an opposition, but anyway. Diversity is beautiful. That's what I need you to understand, that your perception of our differences is what determines how you feel about every person being different. So are you going to look at it in a way that there's conflict, like diversity comes with conflict, or do you want to see it in terms of diversity is beautiful? So when it comes to religion, I've never heard anyone say, yeah, but I think my religion is suspicious, hey? Like, what if what we're doing is wrong? What if we're the wrong ones? What if, the Jews were right? No one ever says that. No one ever says that. And it's so funny, because on the other hand, there isn't a pastor or a man of God or a preacher or an evangelist that if you go and search them on Google, that is not being accused of being a Satanist. Everybody's a Satanist, but no one's church is the wrong church. Do you see what I mean? So, but what I've learned is there's aspects about each of the religions that I've gotten to dabble in that I enjoyed. I'm not going to go into that, but I have picked up this from that doctrine, that from that doctrine, that from that doctrine, whatever that suits me. And ultimately, if I'm a good person, I'm like, why won't I go to heaven if I'm, a good person? So always be open-minded in life. I remember being so judgmental and so fired up when I'd just become an adult, and I thought the world was black and white, yes or no, either or. And one thing about the Lord is that He will humble you. Like, there's situations where I was like, how dare she? Oh my gosh, that could never be me. And you know what? It became me. I was put in that situation almost as like a teachable moment where the Lord is, You thought you knew everything, didn't you? Well, now you're in the position, make the choice that you were saying that you'd always make. And chances are I always went in the, direction that I was judging. And lastly, my last point is put respect on retrospect. So I believe that you're a result of your own choices. Growing up, I went to Coglan Primary, and in the library we had these books where you choose the ending, especially like Goosebumps, right? So at the bottom of the page it would say, oh, are you going to walk through the door, or are you going to sit back and wait to see what comes in through this door? So I found that life is a lot like that. You're a result of your own choices. You reap what you sow. So dig deep into your thoughts and behaviors and get curious. Ask yourself why you act the way that you do, or you respond to certain situations the way that you do. I tried a little bit of shadow work, which is like focus on your ugly feelings and try and come to the bottom of why you have that ugly feeling. So jealousy, rage, spitefulness, vengeance, being judgmental, all those things. So when you're in a situation and you feel something so strongly and you can feel it's an ugly feeling and you're ashamed of this feeling, it's a moment for you to come to terms with, why do I feel this way about this situation? And how can I stop feeling this way when I'm in this situation? Every second is a chance for a new beginning. So, for example, for me, I am scared to be wrong. And this is because I grew up, or I come from a long line of educated people. So grandparents went to school in a time when Black people weren't supposed to be in school. So education has been like a thing in our family. You need to be educated, you need to get good grades, you need to pass, you need to be top of the class, you need to graduate. The other word that I can't say starts with a C, yeah. But that pressure of having to always pass and know stuff and learn and be widely read is why I'm afraid to be wrong, because like if you didn't get good grades, there was a lot of yelling, a lot of threatening, a lot of shame, a lot of, well, we won't send you to that expensive school if you keep acting out the way that you're acting out. So there was always like that system of threats and rewards. So for me, every time I'm put in a situation, it's all or nothing. It's life or death. It's my life is on the line, all the stakes, So I'm definitely all in. And it's also shielded me from experimenting or trying new things. Like, I feel very unsafe if I have to go into a situation and the chances of winning are not at 80%. So yeah, imagine when you're trying to learn a new skill or a new language and you want to know for a fact going in that there's 80% chances of doing well at it. There's no way to tell. So you're going to avoid it, right? Because you don't want to fail, because, there was all this shame when you were growing up and all this, detriment. So it's been an insightful journey because I just turned 32. So every single day I'm discovering new things about me, new feelings, new reactions, and hidden traumas from the past that still inform the way that I act today. It's a work in progress, and I think you're always gonna do it. But the joy about it is, if you do it, your spouse, your in-laws, your kids, your future generations won't ever have to deal with the dark side of your ugly side. And yeah, life is hard, eh? Do what you love. Do what you love. It's not a group effort. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. God did not make it a group assignment. And I think that comes mostly with your hustle and your projects and what you want to do. God communicated it to you, put it in your heart. So don't expect us on the outside to know for you what you want to accomplish, or the fire that the Lord has set inside of you, or the vision He's put in your life, or the purpose He set out for you. And ultimately, where your heart is, there your treasure will be also. So if your heart is in a bad place, your treasure will be a bad place. Because, hey, unless you're an assassin or a hitman, revenge won't make you the money that you would like. So find the things that bring you joy. Marie Kondo your life. Find the things that bring you joy. Do more of those. And good luck with adulting. And hopefully I see you years from now. And I'll tell you what I know so far. Like the new Pink album. All right. Bye.